Thank you to the chairman and ranking member for holding this important hearing, and thank you to Secretary Fudge for appearing to discuss your important work and that of your team as we examine the work that the Department of Housing and Urban Development continues to do to support the issues of our constituents. While HUD's mandate is wide-ranging and diverse, the work you do to increase access to affordable housing, promote home ownership, and protect renters is critically important, especially to my constituents in Nevada. While my constituents are still struggling to find a way to build wealth through home ownership, they are being robbed of their opportunities, particularly by large out-of-state corporate speculators. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a Las Vegas Review-Journal article from January 4th of this year titled, "Swapping Homes Like Stocks, Wall Street-Backed Firm Buys 264 Valley Homes in a Day."
Without objection.
264 homes in a day, a single day. And this is just a continuation of an alarming trend that we have seen as far back as 2009, a trend that only accelerated during the COVID-19 pandemic. These massive hedge funds, corporate landlords, and cash-rich investors are able to not only outcompete Nevada families during this period of high interest rates, which have allowed them to purchase almost a third of the homes sold in certain Las Vegas zip codes. That's why I introduced the Housing Oversight and Mitigating Exploitation Act, the HOME Act, to empower your agency to gather the data necessary to understand the severity of our housing shortage and to protect everyday Nevadans from being exploited by large institutions on Wall Street. I'm pleased that the Senate companion to the HOME Act was introduced by my senator, Senator Jackie Rosen, and Senator Vance, a Republican from Ohio. I hope that all of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle will join me in combating this artificial decrease of our housing supply. Real estate agents in my districts recognize just how damaging these purchases can be, as they have seen that the homes purchased by these large out-of-state corporate landlords are essentially never even put back on the market. So you want to talk about housing affordability and addressing housing affordability? Address the fact that 1 in 3 homes in parts of my district are no longer even in the market. And the companies that bought them have a record of exploiting and manipulating the market, pricing out veterans from using their VA benefit to purchase the home, first-time home buyers from using the tax credits that we're talking about here today. And even if they put it on the market to rent, they charge higher rents, evict at higher rates, and don't maintain the maintenance, which lowers the value for everyone else. So Secretary Fudge, can you please speak to the benefits to HUD and Americans more broadly from increased visibility into investor purchases of single-family homes and the effects on housing prices if some of these homes would actually re-enter the market?
I'm glad you raised it because it's a major issue all across the country. The same situation is happening in Florida, in California. It is everywhere, in New York. One of the things that we are hopeful that we can get local governments to do is start to look at it, because there are things they can do. They can say, no one company can buy this many homes. It's just local ordinances can do it. But what it is doing is it is creating a market that will never have affordable homes in it, because when they buy them and hold them, they take more stock off the market and the prices continue to go up because there's less supply. But the other thing they do, and you are right, they gouge people. They come into communities like mine, buy up half the houses on my street, raise the prices so that I can't even live there anymore. We have to find a way to say to corporate America, or at least to our communities, that there needs to be finally a come to Jesus meeting about this. Because until we do, they're going to continue to do it. It is profitable. It is not illegal. But we have to make the decision to stop it.
Thank you. Well, my legislation will help you collect that data. But not only there, as you mentioned in your opening statement, there are 44 million households living in rental housing who deserve to know their rights and to be protected against abuse. And the Home Act would empower HUD, the FTC, and the CFPB to identify practices that may unfairly prevent applicants and tenants from accessing or staying in their apartments. So, Mr. Chairman, with your indulgence, since this is the first housing hearing that we've had, this is a very important issue, and I hope my colleagues will support the Home Act legislation.